Are we ready for checkpoint? The very first song that I'm gonna drop into checkpoint is a big name, the biggest name I'd say by popularity at least on today's checkpoint. Of course, I'm talking about the new single of Linkin Park, Up From the Bottom, that I haven't listened to on purpose because I wanted to listen to it here with all of you. Are you ready? Everyone is ready? Yeah, cool. Let me put my headphones back on. Right, okay. So here we go, people. This is Up From the Bottom.
Inside it feels like I'm barely breathing. Me down, 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 down.
Waking up without a name, opening my eyes, knowing nothing is the same.
Keep me waiting down here, so far below. Scared up from the bottom, up from the bottom.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm enjoying it.
Push deep inside a socket. From the bottom, up from the bottom. Try escaping.
Everybody out there, devil is coming. Poison on his lips and his words mean nothing.
Hannah says 7 out of 10. Good vibe. Catchy but good, says Beardy. Okay, sentient. Slight Metera vibe, says Captain Krugle. 7 out of 10, says Miss Karu from Finland. Mr. Burbul from California says 8 out of 10. Mr. Jackson says it's good, solid 7. I feel a 5, says Butterfly from Norway. X-Metal from Finland says 7 out of 10. Captain Krugli from the United Kingdom says solid 8 out of 10. Mika says 7.5 out of 10. Bryce says 8 out of 10 from New Zealand. Sentient says 6.5-ish. Can't give more. Beardy says 7.7. I'm not taking 0.7, like either like round or half. Donald says 5 out of 10, nothing special. Tiago says, man, talk about a sleep token. We did that last Friday, dude. For me, the new Linkin Park, the new Linkin Park single it's a 7.5 out of 10. It's good, it's nice, it's got a vibe, production's great. You know, it's something I can vibe to. It's something I'll definitely want to listen to again, for sure. It's up-tempo. It's not like the best Linkin Park song I've ever heard. And with Emily on vocals, it's on par like with like it's pretty close to like the quality of what I heard of on their like new album From Zero, right? Like with Emily, right? It's pretty much close to that, like on average, I'd say. F Star says 7 on par with everything they've put out except Hybrid Theory. Mr. Jackson says is go higher, but it's Linkin Park, so it's got a lot to live up to. Yeah, true. Luke Holbrook from Ireland says 8.5 out of 10. Love the nod to the old stuff. It's fresh but familiar. Beardy says Chester approved. Mika says you just can't compare with old nostalgia. Nostalgia is gone. But why would you need to compare? Why can't you listen to it as something fresh and creative? You know what I mean? Going forward, I don't automatically like compare stuff. Like I personally, when I listen to something that's just out, I try to evaluate it in my head. First of all, with how it feels, just in the moment, like. Am I vibing to it? Does it feel nice? Like, is it singable? Am I enjoying what I'm hearing? It doesn't matter if it reminds me of the old stuff or it doesn't remind me of their old stuff. You get what I mean? Kind of fits in there with Blink 182, says Beardy. But she's good. About Emily's voice, says Mika from Belgium. Miss Carew says familiar vibes. Paul Jenner says it's okay. I agree, 7-ish. Yeah, Paul, exactly. How you doing, Paul? All good, by the way. Stefano says I like it. 7 out of 10. Butterfly says I wish they did more ambient and heavier. You never know. You never know what they might do. Ian says I'm glad they've carried on making music. She's good, says Mika. Emperor's Wrath says Linkin Park, as far as I remember, always experimented on new sounds. Yeah. As a band, they've always been pushing, like, compared to, like, I don't know, like the rest of the music industry, at least when they popped up. They were experimenting, you could say that for sure, 100%, like pushing the boundaries and all that. That's one thing I always appreciated about Linkin Park. Snitzel, late to the party, good evening. What's up, Snitzel? Good morning over there in Australia. Beatles has added the rap vibe too. Yeah, cool people. Okay, so we've listened to the very first song for today's checkpoint. Checkpoint, obviously up from the bottom by Linkin Park. And we still got 8 songs to go. Okay, so let's get to it. Song number 2. So some of you might know the following artists. Who knows? I'm gonna ask you a question. You'll get straight away who this is about if I ask you if you know, for example, the Murder Dolls, right? Anyone in the chat? Hannah. Hannah's giving me side looks. Omega Man. Yes, is Omega Man. Captain Krogley says, woo! Yes, I take it. The yes about Murder Dolls. Beardy says, yes. Anzer from Slovenia. I'm trying to tap your message right. Anzer from From Slovenia. What's up, brother? Wednesday 13. Yes, Mr. Jackson. Hannah says, interested. I'm fine, Anzer, by the way. We're doing Checkpoint, man. Join us. Interest peaked, says Luke. By the way, Wardbringer dropped a new album a few days ago. So many good new songs tonight. I agree. Nice, says Anzer. Do you listen to indie artists? I'd love to see what you think one day. I do. I mean, when it comes to metal, if we're talking metal, the community here knows it's something that we value here a lot is if anything, is basically when bands join, not in this moment right now, but I'm live 5 days a week. When bands join and we showcase their music, and I gladly do it, especially obviously with actual bands and not AI or anything like that. We always do this, and we have a playlist for all these bands. It's called Band Spotlight by Metal Orpheus, and you can access that. It's a Spotify public playlist. You can access it through my website, metalorpheus.com. Okay, so without any further delay, let's get into it. This is Wednesday 13, new music by Wednesday 13. This song is called In Misery. Atmosphere. The intro sounds great. Omega Man, thank you for the follow. Nice, Nico. Hannah has given it a 10 out of 10. Paul Jenner says a bit wasp-ish. Butterfly from Norway says 9 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10 says Mr. Jackson. Schnitzel from Australia says 7.5 out of 10 so far. A solid 7.5 out of 10 says Sentient. Bryce from New Zealand says 7 out of 10. Bearded Axe from North Carolina says 7.5 out of 10. Omega Man is giving it an 8 out of 10. X-Metal from Finland is giving it 7 out of 10. Reminds Ken of Alice Cooper. Miss Karu from Finland says 8 out of 10. Captain Krogley says 9.5 out of 10 solely because I know Wednesday can pack a harder punch than this. 6 out of 10 says Mike. 7 out of 10 says Mr. Burbul from California. Mike says the guitar riff is good. Yep. 8 out of 10 says Stefanos from Greece. Donald from Suriname says 7 out of 10 for this new song by Wednesday 13, In Misery. And Luke Holbrook says this is a solid 9. At least that's what she said. Schnitzel says raspy vocals. Mr. Jackson says gonna step it down to 8 out of 10. Right, okay. It's a 7 out of 10 from me. It's nice. It's not bad. 7 out of 10 is not a bad score, by any means. It's all right. It's good. It's good. It's playable again, definitely. It's vibey. It's atmospheric. It's something, okay, generally speaking, obviously, Wednesday 13 and Murder Dolls is music that you will play, especially in October and stuff, especially during Halloween, or especially when you're doing a tribute to horror, sort of like horror movie related atmospheric stuff, whatever, waspy vibes, says Beardy. Amazing t-shirts, says Anza. Oh, thank you, dude. Thank you, man. Rob Vocals, what's up, Rob? Wednesday 13 says is criminally underrated. Yes, I agree. He's not as famous as people might think. It's like Rob Zombie me. Yeah, Wednesday 13, obviously big fan of Rob Zombie, but that's no secret, I believe. Ian Jackson, I know which song I'm waiting for. Okay. Luke says going to add some to the warm-up playlist. Nice. Beardy says, well, they did walk with a zombie. Or Miss Caru says loved the build-up, and Omega Man says absolutely. Cool. Okay, so let's move on to the next song that we have here. Fresh, that I haven't listened to. Some of you might know this band. I've heard a few of their songs, obviously, over the course of the 9 months that I've been doing the live streaming. There's a lot of bands that I hadn't known or got introduced to while doing these live metal shows every day, right? By other people, by suggestions, by song requests, by me basically trying to update my ass with what's going on in the world, obviously, time and time again. Everyone having fun, by the way? Are you having a good time? I hope so. So this is going to be the third song. Let's go and listen to new music by the band TEN56. This is their brand new song called Pig.
Piece of shit that made this family.
It sounds like how I would like to speak to my managers. Yeah, and Muir. I was thinking in Muir. Fitia says, not bad, 7.5 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10 says Butterfly from Norway. Sentient from Greece says 7 out of 10. Hannah from the UK says 6 out of 10, not my usual vibe. It grabs you by the throat says Emperor's Wrath. 8.5 says Mike. 6 out of 10 says X Metal. 7.5 says Mr. Rubel, and so does Mr. Ian Jackson. 9 out of 10 says Captain. It's a certified Captain Special. Miss Caru says easy, 9 out of 10. Bryce says 6. I will check this out. Says Butterfly. Snitzel from Australia says Heavy 8. Bearded Axe from North Carolina says 7. Added to my playlist says Emperor's Wrath. BTS says Piggy Piggy. I liked it, says Butterfly. Not sure on this one, dude. 5 out of 10 says Paul. Donald says 6.5 out of 10. Never heard this band before, says Schnitzel. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. It was nice. It wasn't like... It was nice. It was nice. It wasn't like the most, wow, kind of like, you know, I'm going to rip my shirt off kind of song. It's so awesome. It is good. It's not the best, but it is good. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that by TEN56. I bet some of you know this band, like Captain Crookley out there. I'm pretty sure. I love those chucks. There you go. Rob Vocals says 5 out of 10. I don't usually enjoy super processed vocals. Yeah, that's a legit point of view. Right, okay. Let's move on. We've got 6 more new songs. And now we are going to move to a very known band within metal, Arch Enemy. We're going to listen to new Arch Enemy. We're gonna listen to a song called A Million Suns off of their brand new album. Bear with me 1 second. So their brand new album is Blood Dynasty. Excited, says Luke. I see that. Nice, says Hannah. Good. Let's get into it. This is A Million Suns by Arch Enemy here on Checkpoint. And 9 out of 10 says Hannah. Great riff, says Mika from Belgium. 8.5 says Schnitzel from Australia. 9 out of 10 says Mika. 7.5 out of 10 says Bryce. Solid 8 out of 10 says Mr. Burbul. 9 out of 10 says Butterfly. 8.5 out of 10 says Beardy. Oh, we have a fan of Angela Gosso here. X Metal from Finland says 8 out of 10. BTS is not my taste, but I recognize a good song, 6 out of 10. Emperor's Wrath says solid 9. Miss Caru says 8.5. Sorry, Ian Jackson says 9. Sentient says 7.5. Yeah, I've even had a band that I was managing. We played support to them at a festival with Angela Gosso a long time ago. That was really cool. Anyways, this was not a bad song. Let me start by saying that. It's above average. It's got a standard Arch Enemy quality to it, and also, like, you know, it feels right. Okay, she's not new anyways to the band. It feels right, and from the songs that we had heard, like from the singles leading up to the studio album, I'm still really stuck and glued to Dream Stealer, the song. I really like that song. So this is all right. I liked it. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. But I really want to sit down tomorrow and listen to the other tracks on the album. It's not a bad song. I really enjoyed it. It's not better than Dream Stealer or on the same level as Dream Stealer, in my opinion. If Dream Stealer, for example, is I'd say a 9 out of 10. Dream Stealer is a 9 out of 10. This is a 7 out of 10. Does that make sense? So let's see. What have I missed from the chat? 6 out of 10 says Paul. For me, great talent, but kind of the same level throughout. Yeah. Why did Angela leave? I think she just wanted to do other stuff, to be honest. Schnitzel says 8 out of 10. Solid. Donald says 8. Emperor's Wrath says, it reminds me of Scandinavian melodic death metal songs. Yeah. It's not bad. Like I said, it's not a bad song. they have so much. They do. Like, even like obviously with Alicia White Gluz behind the microphone, they definitely have better songs than that. And it's not a bad song. Okay, remember, it's not a bad song, but it's not as good, in my opinion. Somebody might like it. Obviously, some of you do more than I do. A little bit more than I do. Compared to Dream Stealer, then it's good but not great. See, that's my point. That's the point I was driving with what I said. Okay, let's move on. So 4 out of 9 songs. Let's get to the next one. Oh my goodness. So where's Bryce? Bryce, yoo-hoo, Bryce from New Zealand. Are you here? People will know exactly what we're gonna listen to now. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna listen to Alien Weaponry, okay? And it's called Taniwa, the new album. Okay, are you people on board? Are you listening? You are. There's a lot of people here. Yes, Snitzel from Australia. I hope Rice is listening nonetheless. Because we're gonna listen to the same titled song from the album. And it features the singer of Lamb of God, Randy Blythe. And I've not heard this. And we're going to hear this together. And I'm excited because, you know, Alien Weaponry from New Zealand. There he is. Bryce from New Zealand is in the chat. Alien Weaponry, Maori, tribal metal. It has the vibe and an energy in and of itself. If you've ever heard of Alien Weaponry, or even better, if you've seen the band live, you know what I'm talking about. And we really like Alien Weaponry here, so I'm quite excited to listen to the song. And without any further delay, chat, hold your breath, okay? This is Taniwa featuring Randy Blythe. Let's see what it's all about. 8 out of 10 already, says Hannah. Bryce says this title means sea monster. A 10 says Schnitzel. A solid 9.5 out of 10 says Mika from Belgium. A 10 out of 10 says Butterfly from Norway. 8 out of 10 says Bryce. Very catchy, yeah? Feel free to support in the meantime. Support is always welcome here, and it really helps. Support in any shape or form. Sassy from Canada says digging it. 8.5 out of 10. Mr. Burbull from California says 8 out of 10. Randy Blythe. 8 or 8.5 says Mr. Jackson. 8 out of 10 says X Metal. 9.5 out of 10 says Viskaru from Finland. Beardy from North Carolina says 8 out of 10. 7 says Paul. Ooh, it's ramping up. 8.5 out of 10 says Captain Krugle. 8.5 says for originality says Pitia. Tap that face says Schnitzel. Tap my face, I guess. 8 goes to 9 says X Metal. 8.5 out of 10 says Sentient Easily. 9 out of 10 says Luke. 8 out of 10 from me. This is so far out of 5 brand new songs that we've listened to. This is by far the highlight for me. It's not Linkin Park's new single. It's not Wednesday 13. It's not TEN56. It's not the song from Arch Enemy's new studio album. So far, out of 5 songs, it's Taniwa featuring Randy Blythe of Lamb of God that we just listened to. Okay, 8.5 is Donald from Suriname. Emperor's Wrath gave it a 7 out of 10. Cool. All right. Next. Okay, so we have 4 bands. I really know 2 of them. Really know. The next one is not one that I'm slightly familiar with their music. So the next band has 107,513 monthly listeners on Spotify. Some of you may know them. They are touring. I see. In April, I see there's lots of tour dates in the United Kingdom. They are British. Anyone here knows Employed to Serve? In the chat, Employed to Serve. Anybody? Who here knows and or even likes Employed to Serve from the United Kingdom? Nada says Schnitzel. Heard of them, says Hannah. I just wanted Randy and Chorus to give it aggressiveness. Okay, about the Alien Weaponry song. Nope, says X Metal. No clue, says Mika. Sent 6 dick looking gifts. Thank you, bro. Mr. Bulbul says no, never heard of them. 1, 2, never heard. 3, not sure. Nope. Good. Okay, fine. Let's go and listen to their brand new music. See what it's all about. This is Breaks Me Down by Employed to Serve. Atmospheric start to it. Yep, Cherry Poppins for all of us.
You are here today,
Give it time to kick off, people. Don't be judging from the very first seconds. Female singer, by the way. 7 out of 10 says Bryce. Oh, the bass. That bass. The bass is very nice. 6 out of 10 says Butterfly. 6 out of 10 says Hannah. 6 says Sentient to keep it rolling. 7.5 says Schnitzel. 6.5 says Fitia. 8 says Mike. Mr. Burble says 6.5. Captain Krugly says 7 out of 10 purely in appreciation of the chunky guitar and bass tone. I agree, very cool mixing, yep. The long-awaited breakdown. 6 out of 10 says Josh. 6 says X Metal. Sassy says 7 out of 10. Mr. Jackson says 7 out of 10. Emperor's added it to the playlist for more listening. Spirit Box Light. Miss Carew really enjoyed it. 10 out of 10. It's amazing production. For me, it's a 6.5 out of 10. The production is great. I mean, 6.5, again, when I say 6 or 7 or 6.5 or 7.5, just because it's not 8 or 9 or 10, it don't make it a bad song. It's above average. For me, when anything above 5 or 5.5 out of 10, is actually like worth listening to, even if it's not the greatest thing ever. Like, I would definitely listen to this again. Maybe right in the right context, like along other bands, you know, in a similar tone, a similar vibe, obviously. I wouldn't mind that. Or if like I listen to someone else play, like, you know, DJ or whatever, I wouldn't mind listening to it. It's not like I'd switch the radio. It's not like I'd leave the live stream or stop listening to whoever is playing that song. The bass gives it an extra point, so Shaky9 says Luke who likes it. Donald says 7.5 out of 10. 7 out of 10 says Emperor's Wrath. Yeah, because it's not bad. You can't really say it's a bad song. It's not like fantastic, woo-wee, like the best song I've ever heard or whatever, or the new thing. Sassy says, Sassy, thank you, sorry, I mean for the 6 Jester Cats is what I meant to say. My brain is gradually dying, that's alright, that's expected at this time. Right, we still have 3 more songs for Checkpoint tonight. Let's get to it. So, okay, the next band is from Greece. It's not Rotting Christ to save you from the trouble. It's not Septic Flesh. Anyone else want to take a wild guess? I'll just say that in my head, from back in the olden days, right? Back when Sentient number 6 was a beardless boy. He still is a beardless boy. We always used to consider like there was 3 major bands in Greece. Three bands that would stand out. So okay, this band, maybe you've not heard of it before because it's not as popular as Septic Flesh or Rotten Christ. Anyone want to take a guess again? No. F-Stars is waiting for a full Septic Flesh release for it to be on here. Yeah, we did the, I don't know if you were here when they released Amphibians, Septic Flesh, and we listened to Amphibians back then. No clue, says Hannah. Okay, so I was, says F-Star. Yeah, good times when we listened to Amphibians. Luke says, I'm just here for Moo Deng. So am I. So the band's called Nightfall. Anyone know the band Nightfall here from Greece? Anyone remember Nightfall? Obviously the Greeks will know it. The band, I mean. Emperor's Wrath, for example, will know. And Sentient will know Nightfall. X-Metal says maybe. Mika says no. No says Bryce from New Zealand. That's alright. I mainly expect Greeks, if anything, to know Nightfall here. Nightfall, really old band. I've interviewed them on Headbangers Ball. When I had Headbangers Ball on MTV, aside from Septic Flesh, another band that I'd brought to like the TV set was Nightfall. Efthimis Karadimas, the frontman. Oh yeah, such a great band, says Emperor's Wrath. Okay, good. It's just me, Emperor's Wrath, and Sentient who knows Nightfall. It's okay. They released a brand new song called The Cannibal. Okay? I've heard the name, says Miss Karu. So we are going to listen to Nightfall's brand new single. Pretty black metal, okay. Okay, this is good. This is good. Unexpectedly really good. 8 out of 10 is Bryce. I agree with Sentient, 8.5 for sure. 10 out of 10 is Mr. Burbul. I'm happy you're excited, brother. X-Metal from Finland says 8.5 out of 10 for the new Nightfall single. A growling 8 out of 10 says Schnitzel from Australia. 8 out of 10, I'm surprised because not my... Well, that's a lie, because you listen to Rotting Christ, etc, etc. 7.5 out of 10 says Kitia. 8.5 out of 10 says Sassy, you'll find me in that pit. Captain Crookley says 10 out of 10. This is fine. 9 out of 10 says F-Star. I was checking you. A solid 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, it is a solid 8.5 out of 10. Very solid 8.5. It's nailed to the wall at 8.5. Bravo, Eftimi. Bravo, Nightfall. I'm so happy, man. I've known this band like most other like Greek metalheads for a very long time, and I've seen Nightfall live like ages ago, dude. Like decades ago. So I'm really happy, especially, you know, after I got to meet the singer Eftimius like on my TV show back when I was on MTV and I did Headbangers Ball. Yeah, I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy that they're pumping nice music, man, in 2025. That's super nice. 9.5 out of 10 song of the checkpoint so far for me, says Luke. Emperor's Wrath is giving it a 9 out of 10. That was really nice. I'll definitely be playing The Cannibal by Nightfall again. So some of these songs usually tend to get into my like daily rotation when I stream. Miss Karu from Finland says 9 out of 10 for me. Donald from Suriname, 8 out of 10. Captain Krukle from the UK says that was the best thing we've listened to so far. It's really, yeah, it's the highlight. Like I enjoyed this more than Alien Weaponry, which I enjoyed with Randy Blythe. So this I enjoyed even more. Goes to playlist and closer look for the band. Yes, check Nightfall out on Spotify, people. Give them a follow, you know, find out more about them, go digging into their discography. They are not a new band, and they are from Greece. I think you'll find quite a few songs and albums of theirs that you might enjoy from the past. On tomorrow's listening again list, says Miss Karu, absolutely. Into the crypta. Ciao, Bella. Come stai? How you doing, sweetie? Mr. Jackson says, yeah, 9.5 out of 10. Yeah, very good song, man. The Cannibal by Nightfall. Excellent. Good job, Nightfall. That was the 7th song out of 9 for today's checkpoint. We're listening to brand new songs released during the previous days that I haven't listened to, and we do this here live. Okay, two more songs. Okay, the next band is from Hungary. Balaz, are you here? I don't think Balaz is here. The next band is from Hungary. I found out about this band back when they were like in their early phase, like, but they had a record deal with Nuclear Blast Records that I used to work for at the time as well. Sassy, thank you for the 11 slays, by the way. Into the Crypta says, ciao bello, I am good, my friend. And you, I'm fine. We're doing checkpoint. Into the Crypta, we're doing checkpoint. You're more than welcome to take part in the remaining songs, 2 of them to be exact. Emperor's Wrath says, I haven't heard of them for a while, and it was a very nice surprise. Emperor's Wrath is referring to the previous song we checked, which was by Nightfall. Cool. Okay, so the band that I've added to Checkpoint to listen to their brand new music from Hungary is a band that sounds, I used to say that they sounded a lot like Soulfly, very tribal at times, the vibe, the groove, everything. I'm talking about Ektomorf. If you know Ektomorf, we are going to listen to their brand new song called Heretic. This is one song before the end. There's one more after this. Yeah, you know what? They do sound, they've always sounded like Soulfly, but they're good at sounding like Soulfly. That's the thing, they're good at it. Thank you, Hannah, sweetie. 9 out of 10 is Mike. 8 from Beardy, 8 from Sentient, 8.5 from Kitia. A bit of Slipknot. 8 out of 10, Mr. Burbul says Sassy. 8 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10 by Schnitzel. 8 out of 10 by Hannah in the United Kingdom. Miss Karu is vibing hard with Checkpoint today. Captain Krugli is really digging it. 8.5 out of 10 says for the new Ektomorf song. Into the Crypta from Italy says 8 out of 10. And X Metal from Finland says 7. Emperor's Wrath from Greece is very good band. Luke from Ireland says I love this. 9.5 out of 10. Slipknot vibes says Beardy. Kilamek from Serbia, what's up, my brother? 8 out of 10 says Emperor's Wrath. Bryce says 6, just me. It's alright. We don't all have to like all, it's like variety in music. It's alright. Kilamek from Serbia says 7 out of 10 for the new Ektomorf song. I'm going to add them to my playlist. They are surprisingly good, says Mika from Belgium. Miss Karu says Haunting Vibes, 9 out of 10. Donald from Suriname says 7.5 out of 10. Into the Crypta says 3 doubles. I'm kidding. From me, it's a 7.5 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10. Obviously, my issue, I always liked Ektomorf, but not like as much as I liked Soulfly. It's not an issue, but I always maintained that they do Soulfly almost as good as Soulfly does Soulfly. Unlike any other band that's probably tried to mimic that style. So there is a lack of originality with Ektomorf, always. That's always in the back of my head. But I still enjoy their stuff, so 7.5. They have badass mosh pits, says Ken Davis. What's up, Ken? How you doing, man? You been to an Ektomorf concert? That's sweet, man. Cool. And that is the 8th song that we've listened to. So far as Checkpoint goes, we've listened to new songs by Linkin Park, Wednesday 13, TEN56, Arch Enemy, Alien Weaponry featuring Randy Blythe of Lamb of God, Employed to Serve from the United Kingdom, Nightfall from Greece, and Ektomorf from Hungary. And we still have one more song to go for tonight's Checkpoint. The next band has been mentioned to me many times in the chat by people passing by. I think maybe 1 or 2 times in song requests. They have been requested. Good opening band for Soulfly. I think that they have opened for Soulfly, to be honest, Ektomorf. I'm not even joking. Hell yes, as Ken Davis. I have badass mosh pits. Yeah, really good band. Like I said, they do Soulfly, but they do it so good. So you can't really fault them. They're not boring, you know what I mean? They do what they do. They sound like Cavalera's stuff, but kudos to them. Really good job. The last song for tonight's Checkpoint is by a band from Germany called ANNISOKAY. Who knows ANNISOKAY? And their new song, Inner Sanctum. Who here knows ANNISOKAY? This band has been mentioned quite a few times in the chat. Maybe not necessarily by you in particular. Miss Karu knows them. Luke's is ringing a bell. Michael Jackson's is Bryce. Schnitzel's laughing. Emperor's Wrath knows ANNISOKAY. Yeah, quite a few people have mentioned this band to me. Maybe not. Are you okay? So we're gonna listen to ANNISOKAY, Inner Sanctum, without any further delay. It's the last song for Checkpoint. Usually last songs, not always, tend to surprise us, but not always. Let's see, just let it kick in. Let's see what it is. It's right next to my head, Joe. Right next to my head. It's Inner Sanctum by ANNISOKAY. Bryce says it's an 8 out of 10. This new song by ANNISOKAY, Inner Sanctum, is the song. 6 out of 10 by Mika. 6 out of 10 by Schnitzel. 7 out of 10 by Hannah. 7.5 by Sentient. BTS is 6.5. 6.5 by X Metal and Mr. Burbul. 7 out of 10 says Mika. Mr. Jackson says 8 out of 10. 5 out of 10 says Captain Krugli. Okay, not the most epic song to have finished Checkpoint on any, Friday night. It wasn't bad. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't bad. It had atmosphere. It had a certain degree of atmosphere to it, which I enjoyed. I don't know. It was alright, but it just wasn't like I was expecting it to go somewhere. If that makes any sense. Like I was expecting it to lead to something even like higher. or more more like, I don't know, louder or more explosive at times. Emperor's Wrath says, I will give it a fair 7 out of 10. Luke says 8 out of 10. Donald says, this is all 6. Kila Mick from Serbia says 7 out of 10. Emotional Mayhem and Atmosphere, 7 out of 10, says Miss Karu from Finland. Thank you for the sign language gift, Fitia, sweetie. Captain Rugley. Captain Crugley says it just fell flat. Kind of did. Good songs in general, says Mika. Yeah, it was not bad. Out of the 9 songs, well, I forgot to rate this one. Wait, this one was a 6 out of 10 for me. Inner Sanctum by ANNISOKAY. It was slightly above average. Thank you for Checkpoint. I enjoyed it. I hope you had a nice time, all of you. Thank you so much, Fitia. I'll say that out of the 9 songs that we listened to, the songs that stood out for me are the brand new single by the band Nightfall called The Cannibal, an Alien Weaponry off of their brand new studio album. The song featuring Randy Blythe of Lamb of God called Taniwa, which is the title of the album as well. And then I'd say the Linkin Park single Wednesday 13, Arch Enemy, kind of on the same level of give or take of like they were good. They were not the best. They were good. They were enjoyable. TEN56 also with their new single Pig was also kind of around there. So like 7s and 7.5s, all these songs. Employed to Serve was okay-ish. Ektomorf was fun, but okay, 7.5, I guess, they're about. So all of the songs we listened to, like we didn't really listen to any song that really sucked ass or anything like that, if I may say so. Nightfall was 100%, says Captain Crugley. The best one tonight. Yeah, I think Nightfall wins the cake tonight, people. What do you think? Nightfall really caught my heart. Nightfall got the spotlight. Yeah, I think so. People, what do you say? What do all of you say? Would you say Nightfall won the cake tonight? I'm pretty sure Nightfall will be happy when I tag them in this. Would you say that Nightfall did it? Ektomorf says Schnitzel from Australia. She's actually Swedish. I can't talk. She's actually Swedish. Why am I trying to talk like Sean Connery? Donald says, yes, Nightfall. Agreed, says X-Metal. Nightfall by Forces Sentient won it tonight. The whole damn bakery. I still have this. Why am I wearing headphones? I still have this confusion with Linkin Park. I'm Gen X, so I need to adapt. She's good. Oh, no, she's absolutely good. Emily's really good as a singer, and she fits in very, very well. So Captain Krugley says, Nightfall gets all the cake.